Today, a solution to a challenge a lot of us have. Do you have kids, family members, or pets that are sneaking out the back door? Here's a $7 to $8 lock to install on your door to keep that from happening. I'll break this down into easy steps to follow so any homeowner can do this in about 30 to 45 minutes. Screen doors are a necessary evil. They keep bugs from getting into your house, young kids, or other people safe. It's just enough of a barrier to give people pause. I've replaced this screen door. It's easy. If you're interested in that video, it's posted up there and down below. The locks on screen doors are ridiculous. This thing bends almost instantly, so I put in an eye bolt. I'll post what kind of eye bolt that is, and that allows at least the screen stay relatively close so that bugs can't get in. But the screen door still needs a lock. Here's the kit I'm using. It has most of what you need, but I found that adding a couple hardware components like washers turns this project into an easy, flawless DIY. Without modification, the screws on this side are going to go all the way through and poke out the outside. Don't want to do that, so I actually added a couple washers. Maybe I'll add an additional one to keep that from happening. There's nothing but air for this screw to go into. So I've come up with some structure so that these screws are going into something substantial. It's a 9mm dowel, and you'll notice it doesn't completely fit. So I took some heat shrink tubing, cut off the piece, covered it up. I'll show you how that works. And it fits in there nice and snug. It's kind of like a coating on the outside. And that will give the screws something to bite into. If you've never used heat shrink tubing, it comes in all sorts of different sizes. It's great to have on hand for all sorts of DIY projects. It's not just for wires and use some sort of torch. You don't want to keep it in any one position for too long because it can melt. And it will seal right up against whatever you're heating it up on, nice and tight. Then just slide it into the slot. And that's where I've decided to put it. A little over 5 feet above the door frame on the bottom, just high enough so little kids won't have an issue popping it up. And if they are smart enough to pop this up, then you probably don't have to worry about them. You could always put it way high, 6-7 feet if you really needed to, or if you just want it closed so that critters can't open and close it, you can put it down much lower, kind of where the original lock is. It's not really a security feature because anybody that wants to get through this door, if they find that it's not easy to open, could just take a knife, pair of scissors, or anything and just kind of slit the screen and pop the lock. It's intended to keep people in, not people coming from the outside in. Double-sided tape on projects like this is your friend. It allows you to position what you're putting in place and not have to hold it while you're drilling holes or screwing screws or whatever it is. And you want to position this before you position the second piece over here, because everything builds off of this piece on the sliding part of the door. That's pretty good. Now let's do that 3 more times. I decided to put a locking washer on these screws because you're just going into a thin piece of aluminum and you just want something that's going to lock down the screw so it won't back out. Nothing poked through on the other end, which is good. I ended up using 3 lock washers on this side to prevent it from going through and 1 lock washer on there. And this thing is rock solid. This is the hardest part of the whole project. Putting it on this side is not a big deal. I have to do this piece first so that you got this all lined up for part 2. I marked with a pencil the general area for where I want to put this. I put double-sided tape on. I'm just going to try to match it up to open and close the door and yet keep the door tight. All I have to do is pre-drill here, these holes, and put the screws in. The wood's going to be so much easier than this door with the metal. Time for a fit check. I have 2 screws in already, 1 here and 1 here. You want to do it on the diagonal in case these holes aren't completely okay. And you got a little bit of a gap here. It's to keep the door closed. This is more safety than security from the standpoint, again, if you have family members or kids that you don't want to go outside or you want to slow them down, then this is the way to do it. Or if you get caught outside, I guess you could take a thin piece of wire or something and pop that open in a desperate way if you lock yourself out. But how could you lock yourself out? Who knows? I'll finish these 2 screws and then this project will be done. The hardware is solid into the door in the frame, and you want to use a regular screwdriver. You don't want to use a drill or anything. My door is a little off square. There's a gap here and it's tight on the bottom, so I'll adjust the screws on the bottom, but there's enough movement and play in there that it shouldn't be an issue. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in all sorts of safety and security DIY videos, making and breaking things, designs of all kinds, home repairs, I even do costumes, cosplay, and props. Check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what kind of solution for your home you're gonna see.